Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Whiskey and Business Podcast. I'm Josh. This is Travis.
Hello.
So today's episode is going to be all about video marketing and video production. Travis is phenomenal at doing video. He's been doing video for a long time now. Your business specializes in video production, right?
Yeah, it's definitely our specialty.
Yes, so he's going to talk about all that today. I'm going to ask him some questions because, his expertise level is super good at that. Now, tell us a little bit about the whiskey that we're drinking today.
Well, this whiskey is the Jameson Black Barrel. It's a triple distilled Irish whiskey.
Irish whiskey.
Irish. Luck of the Irish.
Yes.
Funny story is I ran into a guy named Mick, and I think it's just a coincidence, Mick Irish. But I was staring at the wall.
We'll keep it at that. It was a coincidence.
I was staring at the wall, and I was trying to pick which whiskey I wanted to bring in because you've chosen the last few ones. And then he walks over, and he's like, I suggest this one. And I'm like... Okay.
Wait, is that his voice too?
Pretty much.
I choose this one.
Yes. He grabs it, and I'm like, okay, is there a story? Why do you recommend this whiskey? I'm doing a podcast. I told him, be listening for this one. And he said that he served in the Navy with his buddy, and his friend actually tested a bunch of different Irish whiskeys, and this was their favorite. So
it's Navy approved.
Navy approved.
Okay.
Red, white, and blue.
So the seamen have spoke. I don't think he'll enjoy that one, that joke.
Nope. And we lost another follower.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, dude. Awesome, man. Well, let's try it out, and then we'll review it at the end. I've never had it, so I'm kind of stoked for it. But let's go for it, man.
Sweet.
Cheers. Start it off. It's pretty good, man. It's pretty good.
Feel the Irish burn.
The look of the Irish. Was that good? Was it a good accent?
I like it. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
I didn't seem Jamaican.
No.
All right, cool.
I think you could be a Lucky Charms.
Oh,
spokesman.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's my new profession too.
Voiceover only for Lucky
Only
Charms.
for Irish people?
Irish-related things. It's his new specialty. Miller Media is a side hustle now.
Yep.
Irish accent voiceover.
That's it. Miller accents.
Miller accents. You got a little
with the ding, the little rainbow.
Yeah.
All right, man. So let's get into the questions. So I know that people. So videos, branding, marketing, that's all different, right? Mm-hmm. But it all kind of cohesively works together when you're creating something for your clients, right? Explain to us the difference of brand videos, marketing videos, and conversion videos.
Yeah.
In different aspects, and also maybe even product videos, because those are in a different category as well. Explain to us the difference, because what I see a lot of marketers do, they go and they get used to this flow of videos that they make, and it's really good, the flow that they have, but it's usually like either B-roll or branding or sales, but it doesn't line up with what the client's actually wanting.
Right. And then they're not, you see so many people not quite understanding the purpose of the content they're creating, because there is a purpose behind each of them, and the video may be great, but if you're throwing money behind it, trying to get a conversion campaign and make some money, and it's a branding video that's like, hey, this is our logo, this is where we are.
Yes.
And they're expecting a return.
So do you think that's a reason why a lot of freelance videographers don't get reoccurring income from their clients based off the fact that their videos aren't making them money?
Yeah, potentially. Or the clients don't know where to post it.
That's true.
Oftentimes someone even like me is I'll create the video content for someone based off what they want. Usually they already have an idea of what they like, and we create it, and then I hand it to them, and they don't know how to implement it.
Right.
And the posting and how to run it, and maybe they didn't want to put money behind it, but they just wanted to create something for their followers, which is great, but they're not creating something that's going to create a return, and then, okay, we'll call you in a year.
So there's a disconnect, you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Like they deliver the video without even knowing without even the client knowing what they're going to do with the video.
Right.
And then the marketer not asking the questions to know that answer, to do anything with the video to do that. So now there's a big disconnect of, here's your deliverable, see you later, and then let me email you a month later to see if you need another video.
Right.
Even though that last video probably didn't even get posted yet.
Right.
They don't know what to do with it.
Sitting on YouTube, not being posted anywhere.
Right.
People expecting, oh, well, it's on the YouTube. It's going to reach people.
I'm going to make money.
Right. And, the thing is, not all videographers are marketers.
Right, that's true.
I mean, my company started as a wedding videography thing.
Right.
And I didn't trust anyone else with my brand. We couldn't really afford anyone to create my brand. So I created it myself. And through that process, I realized I really like this brand work of identity, what matters to a brand. And I started to specialize in it. And then I wasn't just making really cool videos. I was like, I want to help brands and businesses create an identity that resonates with their clients. And a lot of that goes into strategy and how to create a good video. Because I still love making great videos, but it's like, what's your goal here? Please be intentional in what you're doing.
Yes, keyword intentional.
Every frame, every moment, everything that goes into an edit should have intention.
Right.
Don't just leave it blank.
Now explain that into a little bit more depth, though.
Yeah.
So when you're saying intention, what do you mean?
Like movies. Movies have a story arc.
Right.
Commercials need to have a story arc as well.
Okay.
The thing is, it's almost reversed where the beginning is that bang.
Yes.
It's the hook. It's the whoa, yeah. And then you have the information.
Right. But you've already hooked them.
Yeah, you've already hooked them in that initial bang. That's why if you watch movie commercials that come out now on YouTube, even if they're pushing it in there, movie commercials will have condensed commercials at the beginning of the commercial. They will have a 3-second do logo.
Right.
Before it has moments of that commercial before they even play the commercial, because they know that 5 years ago the attention span of a average person was that of a goldfish, like 6 seconds. And that was 5 years ago.
Now it's even worse.
Now it's even worse.
Or like a tadpole.
You have to have that hook at the beginning. And instead of a movie starting off slow with character development and arching and coming back down, it's like you start up here and then you can dip down during some informational stuff once they're hooked. And like little spikes here and there, and then you end high as well. To give that trigger, give that impression where that person's like, oh, this is my call to action.
Right. Everything and that applies to every type of video, right? Yeah. Like even branding.
Yeah, absolutely. If it's boring, if it's not entertaining, if it's not fun to watch, there's no point in making it.
Right.
That's why it drives me crazy when every single client I get's like, yeah, I figured I'd stand in front of my storefront, introduce myself, and say, this is where I am. And I'm like, that's great. You should do that. But can we please get creative with it and create a video that's going to actually inspire or be fun to watch?
High energy, like pumping people up, video. Maybe running out of the door, or even like doing something funny where you're like, you run into the door, the glass door, then you open it. Right. Just something that's like super hooky, right off the bat.
Something fun. Have fun with it. Show that you will put money into making something creative.
Right.
You're not afraid to take risks into doing something cool.
Exactly.
I mean, it's like, I wish more people in this area would want to create something cool that we could launch a real marketing campaign like Gorilla Glue.
Because everything's a marketing campaign, right? Everything.
Everything is. Everything.
It doesn't matter if you're branding products, conversions, or ad videos. All of that is just different portions of marketing where you still need the layout to be what you're saying is you got to have it as a catchy beginning, climax beginning, and then ease them in for anything you do.
Anything. No matter what the purpose of it is. That's the format that you have to follow if it's going to be effective online, especially if you're putting money behind it and it's popping up uninvited in someone's feed.
Right.
If there's a YouTube ad that interrupts my video from starting, it better damn well be entertaining. Because if I'm not
some of them that I see though, dude, some of them I give them kudos, man.
Job. Like,
because if you can catch me in an ad, I'm like, that was fucking good, dude.
Well, you and I, we know we're like. The second my video pauses, I'm like, okay, judgment time.
Right. I always look to see, and especially if it's a local company too.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, I got to see this, right? But when there's some of them, dude, I'm like, this is sick. I'll email the guy and be like, dude, fucking sick video.
Right.
Great job. Or if it's just shit, I'll just fucking scroll back and be like, sick. Like, maybe that's a good client. I can go hit up and just be like, hey, you want a better video?
Seriously. I mean, it's like, it needs to have intention. It needs to be well done. especially if you're spending the money to get it out in front of people.
Right.
Don't waste the opportunity to have intention with anything you're doing. That's across
And
the board.
That's per platform, right? Like, because I know if you do videos where if you're going to use it, it's going to be like a one and done video. Of course, like, it could be for an advertising, but if they're making content in production for, let's say, a series or something that's long form that they can chop up, they also have to be intentional with the platform, right? Like, Instagram's different from Facebook. TikTok's different from Instagram. Google My Business even is different from all of them. LinkedIn's different. So
you got YouTube. You have.
So how do you set that up with your clients when you go into there? Like, I mean, how do you, so you go into the production side, how do you explain to your clients that when they say they want a video, there's a lot more that goes into it and there's a lot of discovery. What do you do to kind of coach them through that?
You ask what they already know, and you base it off of that. You're like, you have to figure out, well, okay, going back to intention, what is your intention? Like, what do you want out of this? Is this something you expect to bring you a lot of business, or is this something for someone to find when they've already been searching for you?
Right.
You have to, what platforms are you even on? Are we now going to get into the process of making sure you are on the platforms that can post a video? And, I have a couple clients that they've been mulling it over for a very long time. Hey, I think we're finally going to do a video. I'm like, great. And then they ask me, well, where do you think we should put it? And I'm like,
well, where's your audience? Because you got to, they should know.
Audience, you don't have anything, and you want to make a video, great, let's do it. But you guys are going to have some work to do to get it so that video brings profit back to you.
And
highly recommend
the businesses should know where their audience is at, bro. But if they don't, that's, I know a lot of people that didn't, right? They do, but you have to ask them the right questions, okay?
Right.
What's the age demographic of most of your clientele? Who are you trying to reach? Just asking simple questions, that'll determine what platform you need to be on, right? Or even what kind of business it is. Like, if it's Joe Schmo the plumber, I'm not gonna go have him post Instagram photos. You know what I mean? I'm like, I won't have him waste his time. I'll have him go on Facebook and YouTube and Google My Business and stuff like that. That's cool. But I mean, I'm not gonna be like, hey man, post all your plumbing photos on Instagram. I mean, that ain't gonna really do nothing for you, man.
There is a plumbers of Instagram hashtag though.
There is.
So you know.
There is. But it's the 80-20 rule, right? Like with any video, you have to get your client to know the 80-20 rule.
Right.
80% of your time needs to go to the platforms that are going to generate you the revenue and get you the results you need. 20% can go into recycling the posts, into Instagram or whatever, right?
Right.
But you have to coach them through that when they don't know.
Well, and they have to know the format of posting that's going to be most effective.
Right.
Plus how the length, longer videos on Facebook, shorter videos on Instagram. And you can post it everywhere and cast a wide net and hope it goes, but you still have to go back and make sure that those posts are formatted correctly.
Right.
I mean, like a few episodes ago, we talked about how people can do social media by themselves if they learn the right ways, but there's a lot that goes into doing it right.
Right.
And we're hoping we can help with that. But there's so many little details that you and I probably don't even think about because we're just used to just doing it.
Exactly.
And then we think, oh yeah, well, people who just sell social media management when they schedule 3 posts and then they charge you a bunch.
Right.
It's like, well, a lot of people don't know how to do those 3 posts at all.
That's true.
And,
that's true.
That's very true.
It is valuable for the time.
Yeah.
So it's time versus worth. I understand
Absolutely.
that. Now let's deviate away from the of that topic of just like what types of videos, because now I'm pretty sure people realize what branding, all that stuff, and what needs to go entails. Let's put to rest the topic of are iPhones a professional camera or not?
Absolutely.
Absolutely what?
They are still a professional camera.
Gotcha. Now, in your words.
In my words.
How do you explain this to the people that would be watching this? If they just heard you say absolutely it's a professional camera and they just fucking threw their phone at the wall?
Right.
How do you get them back?
Well, how many millions and millions of dollars went into creating the perfect camera that can fit in your pocket? And
Right.
You can whip out in 4K 60 frames per second, so you can do instant slow-mo, or, throw it into slow-mo mode and get instant slow motion.
At 120 and 240 frames.
With perfect lighting that auto-corrects automatically as a person walks down the street. And if you have a steady hand, you can't tell the difference.
Right.
From a person who had a $3,500, $4,500 dollar camera or higher, all set up on a tripod, and then did all of the things to make sure it's all set to the exact specs, and then shot it.
Right.
They took the standard of what people want, the things people like, and made it so those are the auto settings, and a person can instantly whip it out and hit record. It's insane. You're not buying a phone anymore. You're choosing which cameras have the best specs.
Yes. Now I know there's a time and place too, right? I know. So if you get a Sony Alpha camera or whatever the case may be, you get whatever camera, there is functionalities that iPhones lack, right?
Yeah.
Where when it's doing auto white balancing and stuff like that.
Compatibility with other softwares.
That's true. Yeah.
Things in, having a better mic on stage,
right?
Having, there's so many add-ons, there's so many innovations going into making through Bluetooth things that work with iPhone, but also it is a tool for a purpose. Right. It's not the end all be all for every camera,
I wouldn't say like charge $30,000 for a video and go do that.
Right. Yeah,
I would put a little bit more effort.
Camera.
Yeah, I'd probably, I'd probably use the real camera. But I mean, that's why it's kind of funny too with iOS 15 updates. I just watched, they're doing videos where it puts you into a video portrait mode now too. So now it's like, that was the one thing that I used my camera for because I have an f1.4 lens.
Yeah.
It was the depth of field. Now they're integrating the portrait mode into video portrait mode. So yes and no. That is a professional grade camera. That's probably an equivalent of a $3,000 camera you can buy right now.
Yeah.
But you're not going to get the S logs, C logs. You're not going to get the super professional, super low frame rate because it only shoots an HD frame rate at 120 and 240. And then also the motion blur is not that great, but it does really, really well. I've had some people push back on me. That's why I was asking you because sometimes I'll bring both of my cameras. Sometimes I'll just bring that camera just so I can bring it. And I'll end up using that for the whole friggin' shoot anyways.
Well, that's the thing. There's a stigma against it because they will get angry. Like, I've told you this story before that I was filming something once and there was a smaller, Nikon camera that was all built in with the zoom lens and everything. It was an extra angle. And the client came up and was like, "Why do you have that camera? I thought we were paying. We paid you $250.
$250.
You know what? We have other cameras. We have good cameras. We have all of our cameras still shoot in HD.
That's funny.
Please don't be concerned that you don't feel like it's professional. That is on top of a staircase at the very top on a very light tripod. I'm not going to put a heavy camera up there." That camera is where it needs to be. Please trust me, ma'am.
But even the audio though, you were saying they have Rode Go mics now too that you can use for those. They're freaking crisp, bro.
Well, and then some of the audio stuff on this is way better than the built-in stuff on Canon or other DSLRs.
Exactly. Yeah, this audio is better than that inboard audio of that Sony camera there.
Right. Like I was filming the other day. And the client knew I couldn't be in 10 places at once. They didn't have the budget for it, but I was filming a house moving down the street.
I saw that video. It was pretty good.
Over on 2nd Street. They literally moved a house 4 blocks over.
Right.
Not blocks, lots. But box lots. And they were heading down there, and as I was flying the drone and working on a time lapse and filming in 3 places myself by just a strategy, she went and she did interviews with people on her cell phone.
Nice.
On her iPhone. And then she walked over and airdropped them to me. I put those in, and the audio on that iPhone and the quality of that iPhone at 4K was perfect.
Exactly.
You could not tell what I filmed and what she filmed.
No.
I have all the fancy equipment, but she could easily just... I told her, hold the camera like this. Hold it still.
Hey, that's important too, bro, because you know how many times I said, hey, record something on your phone and send it to me, and it's in vertical form. I'm like, no, yeah.
Oh, I hate making vertical videos.
It pains me when I'm like, hey, yeah, you're going to have to reshoot that. And it took them like a week to set it up, and I'm like, yeah, he took it vertical. I don't know why he did that. You know what I mean?
You didn't just clone it and then stretch it and then
no, bro. Like I can't. It's mostly for like
do on
websites. You know what I mean? Like a website is like when they'll be like, hey, I need some like website videos. I need that in horizontal view. I can't have that in vertical. And then they're like, hey, I sent you a Dropbox with the links. I'm like, sick. Go in there, and they're all vertical. I'm like, oh, gosh.
Well, someday when phones shoot in 8K, you'll be able to just crop it in.
That's true. That's true.
It won't matter. We'll have vertical even
once
if it's
iPhone 27 will come out. Dude, yeah, that's funny.
I'm not convinced they're not going to start just creating cameras because they own all of the things.
I know.
I don't know why they would, though. I mean, they can sell something for more expensive than half the cameras.
Right.
As a phone.
But to anybody watching, we're not saying start a media company and necessarily only use iPhone. We're just saying as an arsenal to a secondary camera, that is phenomenal, bro. Like sometimes I just use that. But yes, those cameras, that the one you're recording off of, we're recording off of right now, they have their place because this, you guys, your viewers don't know this. This is actually low light right now. This is pretty low light, and this is shooting at 4K low light with a lens. iPhone will have a very hard time decoding the low light aspect of the blacks in 4K at this type of environment.
What we're saying is know your equipment and don't be afraid to add to your arsenal. A high quality phone you can whip out. I was filming a wedding once, and I crouched my way all the way to the front of the main area. I had a seat reserved, and I had my guys on either side.
Right.
Mine was going to be the main angle, and I go there and I turn on the camera, and it's like memory card corrupted. And I just crouched all the way down to the front of the wedding. I'm not going to walk back down.
I can just picture you too. You'd have like the blankest face too. You'd be like, all right, just walk past. Not even like
very unhappy. So I reached into my pocket and I slid out my iPhone. And then I took the shotgun mic and the lens of the Canon and propped it. And hit record and held the camera with the phone. I used the phone as a tripod I used the camera as a tripod for the phone.
Nice.
Hit record. 30-minute long video at 1080p at the time.
Yeah.
Got better audio than the cameras on the side from just that phone. And it still had the lapel. And it was a high quality, self-correcting, autofocused camera angle. And I think it was the iPhone X at the time, but the camera was still so powerful. Like if you're starting a media company, having a good quality phone in your pocket is a powerful tool.
Right.
Don't make it your main camera.
Right.
All the time. But do not hesitate to have it in your pocket.
Great
as a backup,
secondary, whatever the case may be, man. Because dude, I'm telling you, the iPhone saved my life numerous times.
Same here.
And that's why I always have to update. That's the unfortunate part, man. I always have to get upgrades. Like, dude,
business expense.
I had the iPhone. I had the 11 Pro Max, and then they came out the 12 Pro Max. I was like, oh man, it shoots in 4K, 24 frames.
Well, I'm gonna upgrade on the 20th.
Yeah, I was like,
you just can't avoid it. It's a necessary.
I got to do it now. iOS 15's coming out.
What a pain in the butt.
Gosh dang it, Apple! Stop ruining the market. Gosh. So let's deviate away from that now, because I'm sure people are like, so you'll either get the people that hate Apple and the people that like Apple. And you know what? I want everybody to go in the comments and just debate it.
Yeah.
I want to see the bloodbath of the divide. Just whoever wins.
And
comes
tell us
out
why
of it.
Samsung cameras are better. We want to.
Oh my gosh, dude! You know what? You know what's so funny, bro? I used to think Samsung cameras were better. They were better at the time on paper. Mm-hmm. That was the thing. I'm like a very like technical guy. That's why I don't use like Macs and stuff like that. I use all like Windows devices on my computers. I still do all that, but I was always like, why would I get the iPhone if I can get a Samsung Galaxy phone and the camera is a way more megapixel and blah blah blah. But then I never took into account that the software engineered to run the camera was actually better, and I didn't want to know that. I didn't want to even think about it because I was like, "This is a better camera on paper."
Don't prove me wrong.
I eventually sucked my ego up, and I was like, I switched to iPhone after being a Samsung guy, specifically because I couldn't deny that the software that they use is way more better with a lesser on paper camera that they used before Samsung.
Right, and now it's like
Now they're neck and neck. I mean, it's
Yeah,
flagship
it's
devices are all
crazy.
pretty much the same, but
their user interface is just so seamless. It's insane.
yeah. The only thing I critique Apple for is their basic video app
Yeah, it
has
could be-
nothing, bro.
They could do so much more. They recently added the ability to rotate the video after the fact.
Yeah, you know, that's
But
cool.
They
You just get a DSLR app, bro. But
they created Final Cut. Like they could create a camera app that plugs straight into editing. Like all you can do is change
Right.
the. They did add more now, so you can adjust the lighting and all.
yeah,
of that.
but super
But-
basic still. I use Adobe Rush.
Yeah,
So I use Adobe Rush for when I'm filming on my iPhone because I can control the ISO and all that good stuff without paying for an additional DSLR app.
yeah. I don't know why they have a lot of people working for them that know what people are using these things
Right.
for. I mean, they
Right.
created the Mac that at the time and still. It is catered towards creators.
Right.
It's catered towards like most of their commercials that focus specifically on the iPad Pro and the Mac as this is our software for the creator, for the person who needs a powerful computer that integrates
Right.
and just lets you create anything.
Yeah, dude, if they
And
had
they're
those
making
controls,
iPhones.
bro,
Well, maybe down the
bro,
road.
my mind would explode because if they had inbuilt ISO, frame rate, all that good stuff, like if it was all laid out, you know,
Other apps have it. Why don't they give us the control?
right.
They're afraid of making it too complicated, which I get because they try to keep the bar of entering
Yeah.
into the market of using something like that very easy. But give us an unlock button. Unlock the power.
Yes,
We know you
yes,
have it.
Yes, yes.
Start a
So
hashtag.
that's the only critique because I know Samsung does that and they give
Yeah.
you a lot of features,
A
but
lot of control, too.
you know, so that's the only thing. But I think they'll eventually get there. I think they're just focusing on some stuff. But so let's go. Let's just do a final segment of. So if you are, you know what? Let's help out the videographers. If you're a videographer, or you're an aspiring one, if you're in college,
Yeah.
right? People listening, what should they do first to start from what equipment you would recommend getting for entry level, and then how would they go and get their first client?
I will say what I was told when I first started is get a DSLR. Like get a standard DSLR that you can buy used equipment to connect to so you can get a good shotgun mic at a low value. You can get some lighting. The camera itself isn't as important as the lighting and the sound. The lighting and the sound is everything.
So like a 1080p would still be fine to get
Yeah.
entry level?
Yeah,
you think?
I mean, people aren't viewing everything on 4K. Like,
true.
even if they're viewing it on their phones, which most people view everything on their phones.
Right.
The standard person is, with the lack of attention span, people don't notice the difference necessarily of 1080p and 4K.
Right.
Because they're so used to everything either auto being 1080p or upgrading.
That's right, yeah.
The attention span of focusing on that, you will not get dinged for making a commercial in 1080p.
So just get a standard DSLR just to get your feet wet of how to set up
Yeah.
the boom mics and,
And
stuff like
making
that,
sure
right?
that you get good audio, either a lapel or whatever.
Okay.
Get good lighting, learn the basics of that, and then start creating content before you even have a client. Or go in with a plan on how you can meet that client's needs. Just start creating
Right.
things because you need
Have
to
you ever done anything for
practice.
free? Like when you first started, bro, everybody says this. Everybody's like, why would you go in there and charge for free? You know, like everybody's those guys that are making money now and they think like they're fucking too good.
I'm part of
That's something I feel like every videographer should do.
yeah.
Go to a business or whoever and do something for free.
Mm-hmm.
Like do like 3 of them. Even
or for trade or for some kind of
trade work
value.
is awesome. Yeah.
Show them what you can do, show them what you're willing to do, and then trade value. You need a portfolio. You need to
Right.
show what you can do. You need to figure out what you can do.
Right.
Because unless you've you have a booming YouTube channel with slapstick comedy, you need to show that you can actually create a polished thing.
Right.
And you have to learn how to edit. You need to do things to learn things.
Right.
I'm completely self-taught. No one ever educated me other than a few pointers at the beginning on how to run a business.
I feel like self-taught too is like, I understand when you go to school for like videography or whatever.
Yeah.
They realistically leave out some of the important things of how do I go out of college and utilize this.
Yeah.
Right? It's almost like geared towards, oh my gosh, people can probably hear the car. Do you guys hear that? Sheesh. We're right here in downtown, so
Yeah.
so we got that window. We got that first window right there on Sherman. But it's almost like they set these kids up to think that they're going to be in the big movie shoots, right? Mm-hmm. But realistically, like like they're not teaching all the kids how can I apply this knowledge that you've taught me in school and make money on it.
Right.
So you're saying, and obviously I'm saying too, when you get out, get a standard camera, whatever you can afford, and it doesn't matter as long as you've learned the fundamentals of lighting, audio, and camera settings, whatever you choose, Canon, Nikon, or Sony, whatever you decide. If you're a big shot and you got daddy's money, well, buy a red camera then.
Right.
And but learn your camera and then go and create a portfolio to be able to showcase your knowledge, because at the end of the day, people are going to pay you what they think you're worth, and if your worth is good, they'll pay you for it.
Right.
But if you think you're good, but people seeing your other content thinks it sucks, they ain't going to pay you. So that'll be a nice little reality check. But you need to build up that portfolio to see your growth to get into making money.
And I don't care if you took classes. You need to do to learn.
Yes.
You need to know.
YouTube University is always good.
What looks good. Because I feel like the classes that you take in college teach you to recognize the patterns of what looks good.
Right.
And help you hone your talents. A person who's talentless, who is not, it's not meant for them. And there's people out there, it's just not meant for them.
Right.
They won't have the eye for it. But a person who has the eye for it, has that talent, it will unlock, oh, I've been doing this already. I knew that looked good. I mean, when I hear things from the classes they're teaching, I'm like, oh, that's what that's called. Because I've trial and errored my way into knowing everything that I feel like looks good. I've been taught what looks good by watching and learning.
Right.
And then I'm like, oh, that's what that's called. Oh, that's what that's called. I was just kind of taking shots in the dark while in the early years learning what I knew. Oh, that doesn't look good.
Right. Yeah, I know. It's always funny going back to your first stuff.
Yeah.
And watching it and you're like, oh God, I thought I was good. Right. All right. So let's end this segment off. So we've been sipping on this Irish. Wait, how do you do it? Irish. How do you do it? Do an Irish accent.
No.
It's Irish.
I am Irish.
Irish
but
whiskey.
I don't speak it because it's disrespectful.
Oh, whatever, dude. Anyways, Jameson Black Barrel. All right, I'm gonna take one last sip. I'll let you guys know how it tastes. I'm actually gonna enjoy this one. So
here we go. It has a burn.
Dude, so I actually taste chocolate.
You taste chocolate. Are you having a stroke?
No, man, it tastes so chocolatey in me. Like not like the one we had, right? It's not
right,
like
where it's infused with
no, it's not like that.
A Hershey's bar is just stuffed into the
No,
bottle.
yeah. But I get this chocolate note. I get the spice.
It has a really good spice.
And then the smokiness comes right at the end. Mm-hmm. And then my nostrils kind of like clear up a little bit. I've been sick. I was sick like over the weekend, last weekend.
Yeah.
And my nasal passages just never opened yet. So I still sound like a little girl. Or Timmy Turner from, the friggin' Disney show or whatever it was. Anyways.
Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon. But I don't know. That just it clears your nostrils. It's got that burn, but it's not overpowering. That's a very smooth Irish whiskey. I would say 100%
it really is
smooth.
Like it has a kick, but it's like just so smooth as it goes down.
It's probably because it's triple distilled too.
Right.
I mean, it's pretty filtered. So but I mean, Jameson. Dude, it's nice, man. I mean, I hate Jameson, bro. Like
normally you hate Jameson.
Listen, huh? I'm like, I'm so biased with Jameson, bro. But
this is a good bourbon, though.
I've never heard about this.
It's about $42 for this size bottle.
Okay,
and,
really? So it was a 750 ml.
It's still top shelf, right up near the top our local
Oh,
liquor
right.
stores.
Okay.
But you know, I had never tried it, never really considered it. Jameson I thought was basic, but
I would have never grabbed that.
But this Black Barrel, I mean,
But you kind of changed my mind.
Thank you to Mick for the recommendation.
Yeah, you know what, Mick, you got a guy that hates Jameson to actually like Jameson. I didn't know they made a Irish whiskey, and this is very, very good. I would like to know the backstory of what kind of barrels they use for this, because it's spicy, but it's smoky. But I don't know if it's like oaky smoke.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Oaky smoke
doesn't necessarily taste like that, but I don't know, dude. It's really good. Yeah, I get the chocolate notes though, so I enjoy it. Good choice, man. Yeah. Good choice bringing this one. But yeah, so that'll end the segment. So if any of you guys want to go buy this, it's at pretty much every freaking liquor store you imagine. But thanks for tuning in, guys. This was another episode of Whiskey and Business Podcast. I hope you enjoyed this episode and got a lot of value on it. If you have any questions about any other marketing topics or video topics, feel free to email us or go on social media. Look up Pulse Productions on any channel, just Pulse CDA at handle, and then or at Miller Media Co. or just comment on the video. We'll both see it anyways. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Peace out. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
See ya.